Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Coleman. I'm an early childhood educator and I run my own family daycare business. I'm also a mother of 4 children and we have been on the unschooling path for more than 14 years. And I wrote a book about our journey and it is called Free Flowing Family, a journey of unschooling through awakening and healing. And I am so passionate about this book and I refer to it often because it holds all of the magical and difficult experiences that I went through as a mother, navigating this new way of life, this newfound freedom and exploration and intimacy that came about through the journey of unschooling and committing myself to personal growth and awakening and healing and breaking generational trauma so that my children could grow free from my past and grow to be their own human beings, which they have been doing. Now, I have thought about making some videos and reading a little bit from my book because I just love it so much, and I have such a passion for helping parents to awaken to their own true nature and to parent the way that they really want to parent, because we may not realize that we are just following on from the way our own parents did things, but there could be a place within us that knows another way. We want to be different, we want to be better, but we just don't know how. I was that parent. I've parented 2 very different ways, and this book tells it all. So I thought, because I am just so deeply passionate about what is written in this book and helping other parents feel the same in their journey, the same sense of peace and joy and healing that I did, I just want to get my experiences and messages out there for anybody. And it's whoever sees this video, you are meant to see this video, you are ready, you are meant to hear what I have to share. So today's topic is going to be what to do when you want to hurt your child. And this is a controversial topic. If you may find yourself feeling triggered. Fortunately for me, I only smacked my children not even a handful of times in their whole life. Some children of mine never even got smacked. But I maybe only once or twice, but I can tell you that I wanted to smack them a lot more. I wanted to hurt them more than what I actually did. And I'm going to share with you what stopped me. So I just want to make it clear. And now this, as I said, this message is going to be received well by those who are ready or those who are needing to hear it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, please just let it go. It's not meant to. Now, the message I'm going to share is that wanting to hurt our child and hurting our child are 2 completely different things. And you may not agree. You may think that a parent thinking about smacking their child, thinking about calling them an asshole or much worse, is wrong and it is just as bad. Now, I don't mean calling them names to their face, but we have free will, not only over the actions we take, so we have the free will to smack or not smack our kids, but we also have free will to think the thoughts we want to think or to not think the thoughts we want to think. So, but I'm here to tell you that there's a process taken in having better thoughts that does not include suppressing what we're already thinking. So we can't just change our thoughts. We can't just think positive thoughts. We can't just say, no, I'm not going to smack my child. No, I don't want to smack my child, without first allowing the thoughts that are already there. And by allowing these thoughts, this does not make us a bad parent. In fact, it is courageous and strong of us to allow ourselves to have thoughts instead of pushing them away, because pushing thoughts away is unhealthy and it can be dangerous. So I'm going to read a section from my book, from the chapter called Creating a Safe Space for Fighting. So everything I do share is not only from ongoing training and learning and studying to be the best parent and educator and person I can be to help others. It's also my own personal experiences. A lot of, if not most of what I share, I have lived myself. I have gone through it and I've come out the other side. So I wrote a section in this book in regards to fighting and wanting to fight with our children. Many parents feel they cannot support their child in wanting to hurt another and feel it is important to teach their child that it is never okay to hurt people. I can understand this, as this was something I lived with for much of my life and have been learning to let go of. This is due to allowing certain childhood experiences within me to be acknowledged and healed. Healing being the acceptance and allowance of certain experiences and emotions that I was not allowing myself to have. Some of these have been screaming at my dad into a pillow in my closet until I lost my voice, swearing at someone I was upset with privately while driving in my car with the windows up, yelling at my mum on paper and writing down the most extreme judgments about her, or allowing myself to hit my child or call them names only in my mind. This may shock many of you, but this is what stopped me from actually doing any of these things physically. If healing was truly what I wanted, then I had to be completely honest with myself. Sometimes I hated my children and felt like smacking them. Sometimes I didn't love or care about them. Sometimes I wished they would just disappear. I haven't felt this way in a very long time because I have allowed and dealt with these feelings, but as long as I felt guilty, ashamed, or wrong for feeling them, the harder it became to feel differently. So I'd like to discuss this now with you. So what this meant for me was I realized that I was already thinking these things about my children. So that hadn't changed. The only difference was I was telling myself I was wrong for thinking them. And what this would result in is me yelling at my child or feeling the urge to smack them and hit them or call them a name or run off to my room and slam my door. So I did these things because I was in resistance to my feelings. When I started to write them down on paper, and now, I would just go for it. I would just be by myself in my room. And this does sound awful, and it did feel awful to me at first, but I would write down, I would make like a letter or a note addressed to my child, and I would say everything I wanted to say to them. I hate you. I sometimes wish that you weren't here. You are annoying. You are too overweight. You are too controlling. You are too needy. I would not really want to do this, because in the back of my mind, I'm saying, you are an awful parent. How could any mother say these things? But by the time I had gotten through a whole entire page, I felt better. And here's the thing. Once I went through all the emotions and I did not leave a single one out, I wrote every single judgment, every single feeling, every single thought that I've ever thought about that child. I wrote it down. Sometimes I would have 2 or 3 pages. I would feel such relief. And then I would look at my child and I would no longer feel that way about them. Instead, I felt love. I didn't feel guilt, because I was telling myself, you aren't telling your child these things. You aren't actually hitting them. You are just dumping your judgments and feelings and emotions out on paper. You are just releasing pent-up emotion that you have not allowed yourself to feel. And once I allowed myself to feel that, those feelings dissolved, and the need to project it or take it out on my child no longer existed, because I realized it wasn't about them, it was about me. And you might think, how could a mother have harsh judgments and hatred towards their child? It wasn't that I had hatred towards my child. I just had built up hatred within me. I had grown up in a harsh environment, and my childhood was filled with a lot of hate and violence. So I carried that with me. And as long as I wasn't allowing myself to feel those things and release those things, then I was just going to carry it around with me and take it out on my children. Now, when I say that sometimes I hated my children and I wanted to hurt them and wished that they would disappear, that is true. I did sometimes. But those feelings, as long as I allowed them, as long as I sat with myself and I felt what it felt like and I didn't make it wrong, they would pass very quickly. And I would realize that I didn't actually hate my children. I didn't actually want to hurt them. But allowing myself to have those emotions in that moment was the best and safest thing I could do to prevent myself from harming my child, both psychologically and physically. So I will just read this next section as well. We swear at people and hit our children, not because we believe violence is okay, but because we believe it's not, because we are not allowing the full experience of anger in our bodies. Instead, pushing it away by acting it out towards others. To become less violent is to stop where we are in our anger, close our eyes, and let this fire burn us alive. Let it devour our being and rage through us in all its power. This is the least harmful thing we can do when feeling intense anger. It is also important to go back and visit moments in time where this power was taken from us, usually by one of our parents, and heal it by staying with the experience until we feel strong enough to face our parents and say, "No, I will not let you do this to me." During my therapy sessions, I have been able to do this, and how liberating it has been to come out of it feeling empowered instead of a victim. So what I mean by that is a lot of us have built up anger towards our parents for the ways in which they spoke to us and were violent to us and did smack us because they didn't know how to deal with their own intense feelings. So if we can start allowing some of that anger within us to come out and even get on paper all the judgments and feelings about our parents, the same way that I did with my children, or going out into the bush and screaming, swearing words towards people that have hurt us, we are releasing a lot of that anger, and then we are not carrying it down to our children and putting it onto them. So it is very important to understand that the quickest way to stop violence, to stop harming our children, is to allow these feelings in ourselves and to process them fully, and to let ourselves have all these judgments and feelings, and we find that a burden has been lifted. We have saved our children from harm because we have addressed this within ourselves, and we've made it okay. So this is not making violence in the world okay. It's making the feeling of violence in ourselves okay and acceptable and allowed. And yeah, this brought a lot of peace. And as I said earlier, it's been many years since I have felt any kind of anger or hatred or violence towards my children. And yeah, I wish the same for anybody else out there. I hope you have found this video helpful. I do apologize for the low quality. I am getting a new device soon, so hopefully my videos will be better quality. I have really loved sharing out of my book, and I will be doing more readings from my book in my upcoming videos. So stay tuned, and I am wishing you all a lovely day and peace with your families. Take care. Bye.